Hey guys, we got a very, very, very ridiculous chess match going on, and this is actually a game I had in real life with a buddy, but so I wasn't able to get any recording of it, but I wrote down, how retraced the steps that we did, so I could totally get this, replay it with myself on Zat. It was just one of the most unique, wide open, entertaining, and just bizarre chess games I've ever had in my life, and it was a ton of fun. So I'm white, and I open standardly with queen pawn, as I like to do. And he followed up with something I've never seen before. He comes up, or at least, I haven't seen that when somebody leads queen. That's extremely common and perhaps the best defense when they lead with king, but not when I go queen. So I didn't exactly know how to respond. I knew that if he wants to take it, I can start developing horse to attack it and queen still guarding it and all that good jazz. So despite the fact that I know the queen's gambit pushes up this pawn and starts to attack his other side, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just going to take the middle first and see exactly what it is that he wants to do from there. And he does end up just taking it, and that's going to allow me to just bring my horse up exactly as I expected, attack multiples of his pieces, or attack his pawn from multiple directions, and he hasn't, I'm developing stuff and opening up space, and he hasn't exactly done a darn thing. So his response was pushing up the queen pawn 2, which I'm not quite sure exactly what his train of thought was at that point. Mine, I'm thinking if I push the pawn, my horse is guarding it, it'll block his horse a little bit, but then he can just bring his bishop down. We get a nice little trade over here. I lose the horse, and then I lose the pawn anyway. So it just looks a little bit ugly. And I figure, you know what? I'm just going to take it, just because I can, see what the heck wants to happen, and how he wants to respond with that from there. He does end up bringing the horse out, which would have been blocked off, and it didn't work out that way, but he's attacking the pawn at the same time. So both of our pawns are being attacked in this nice little mirror, so to say, except I've lost my 2 center pawns and he's lost worse pawns. But I figure if my queen pops up here, I can take his pawn and guard mine, so that seemed pretty solid. To me. He follows up with the horse because the horse is still guarded by his own queen, and now we have quite a little predicament here. It just looks really scary. It's not actually a bad position for me, but it just looks scary when there's all sorts of discovered stuff he can have going on. But he can't put me in check with his horse no matter where he wants to go in any of these squares. There's nothing immediately threatening that I have to be wary about. And if he did want to move his horse somewhere, anywhere, I can take his queen, and his only response is to take it with his king, which would mess up his castle. So it's actually a decent play if I wanted to find some way of doing that, and perhaps just capitalize on the time myself by just, by getting some extra pieces out here and developing crap. But I saw something a little bit on the strange side. I noticed, well, I'm on this weird diagonal with his rook, the fianchetto line, and I'm actually going to sacrifice my bishop all the way over there and see if he wants to take it. See if I can get something really, really weird going on with that. And he ends up either not seeing what I saw or biting on it or something, but he not only messes up his castle defense over here, taking the free bishop, the bishop is no longer free once I come in here and eat up his rook with a sacrifice of my bishop. So I just totally jacked, not only in exchange, I messed up his pieces. And it looked really freaking weird. Like, nothing is out in the middle, nothing's developed, and my queen is over the hell in his house, like literally looking in his fridge. It just seemed really bizarre to me. So I jack his rook, and he's like, well, nothing I can do about that now, it's in the past. He just starts developing pieces to their standard spots. It attacks my pawn over here, which at the moment is free. Horse is guarded by the rook, so I'm not too worried about that. But I am going to move the pawn while I have a chance, also attacking his horse at the same time. And he just starts moving down, starts bringing an attack towards my king, which is not cool. Also opens up the file for the queen, and now stuff is starting to look hectic. I would like at some point to get my queen out of here back to safety, since I did block in my bishop, which I didn't think about at the time. There's no way I can move my bishop out. I could fianchetto it, which would attack his knight and get me some solid defense over here, which could be nice considering how open the board is at this time. But I decide I'm going to take the turn to run my queen away while I still can guarantee that it's going to be safe before it gets like blocked in there. And that's why I'm attacking 2 of his pieces, both of which are unguarded, and that felt pretty good too. But I made an absolute huge mistake in not thinking about what he could do. This whole game, we were kind of just messing around, so we were both only really looking 1, maybe 2 moves ahead tops, but I wasn't looking at how he would respond at all, because he just goes here and bam, he forks my queen, and he forks my king with check, so I have to respond to this. The only way to respond to this is to move the king or take the horse, which I did not see that I had that. I didn't see him moving there or that I could take it until the very end. So I'm lucky in that fact that I'm still able to recover from it. Otherwise, it was just game over. And he's got some options. He can take it with the bishop or he can take it with the queen. I think considering I won the exchange over here for bishop to rook, I think the queen is the stronger play because it gets right in the middle in a wide open board. It's guarded by his bishop at the same time, and it just really opens things up. And I think that's probably the better play. It's more aggressive, and he's down, so he needs to do that. But he played it a little bit safer and went with the bishop first. It does still block off my castle, so I'm unable to castle through check. And even if I could, it'd put my rook here, which would just get taken, so that'd be really dumb. So I decide that I want to respond by starting to get some of these pieces out here and developing it. I didn't even think of the fact that he can just jack my pawn, which is exactly what he did. So I start trying to chase it away as I've got a few things going through my mind. I do want it to get out of here so I can castle. So I'm hoping he's not going to just run back in this corner, which he probably will. At some point I also would like to get my rook over here on this nice empty space, attack his queen, see if I can make some magic happen. But he just runs his bishop back here after I push my pawn, which is pretty much expected. No, he doesn't do that yet. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes, I'm wrong. He decides to counterattack me by bringing his horse out, developing pieces of very good play instead of moving first, because then it would give me, if he ran away, I have a free turn to do whatever. Instead, he brings out his horse to attack my queen, and if I want to go through and taking his bishop, lose my queen, lose the game. So there's a couple good spots that I think I could go to. I think I could go to this square over here, right on top of my knight. And I'll just let go, so that when the knight comes up here, if I wanted to have found some way to get rid of him, then I'm attacking this square and I'm attacking this square, which has potential checkmate for it. So that is a very good square to go to, I think. But I ended up just dropping down one because I'm still attacking the knight, I'm still attacking the bishop, I'm still attacking this free pawn over here should I want to, though I don't like being on this straight line, potential to be pinned. He doesn't have, his only two pieces that can complete the pin at this point are both over on that side, so there's nothing really that he can take a major advantage of it for. And now he runs the bishop over to the corner like I expected he would, and then I continue going, get my little attack on here. I want to start getting these pieces out, see if I can start, threatening these guys, because I need to get him out of here so I can castle, be defensive, and then finally start taking over the game. Little did I know, with this little move right here, I am just a couple steps away from hilariousness. So he obviously doesn't want his queen to be taken, so he develops it just a little bit by moving it up, putting it on a diagonal, attacking a piece should he want to, guarding some stuff, freeing up his rook to do whatever the heck he wants, and I'm just going to keep on going. My first thought was if I go here with the horse, then I can attack his queen, and then I can actually come back down here and attack his bishop and his horse as well, which even if he wants to take and I can trade, that's fine, because I need to get that bishop out of there. So that was really my biggest thought. So I decide to attack here with the horse, and then he runs his queen back to this square, further establishing my pin. Well, not a pin, now gives me a discovered attack instead, which seems very strange. I'm like, well, if I'm going to have a discovered attack on the queen, that means I want to move this horse somewhere. So do I go with my original plan? It doesn't necessarily gain me anything. He probably just moves his queen somewhere. I can take his bishop, allow myself to castle. That actually wouldn't really be that bad. I could go here, as originally planned, get a nice check on his king while forking his rook and even attacking his bishop. So I'm hitting everything on the board that I hate. But then he just takes it with the queen. It's not guarded, and it ruins the discovered attack. So that's not going to help. And then I also see I can go here with check, which seems very, very weird, but it allows me to get the discovered attack here. There's check on the horse, so he has to respond to the horse, which is going to give me a free queen, and he wants to take it with the horse, or with the pawn, but he can't, because then it puts his king in check, so he can't do it. He can't take it with the pawn, he can't move the king there because the rook is there, and I can't even get a chance to claim my free queen because it's just flat out checkmate. So it was a very interesting game, very weird. The queen's flying all over the place, the board completely open, nobody castling, just all sorts of stuff, nothing in the center, the pawns just disappearing all over the place, and it was very strange, very awkward, but very, very fun, very unique. It's not every day I get to have a fun chess game like that, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I sure as hell had a hell of a lot of fun. So Be sure to stay tuned for some more vids later, and thanks for watching, guys. Peace.